So, Stream sollte jetzt starten. Werde ich jetzt wahrscheinlich auf YouTube auch kurz sehen. So, für die, die es im VOD sehen, hallo, herzlich willkommen zur inzwischen 50. Folge von Steins geht. Alter Schwede, ich habe inzwischen 50 Stunden oder so schon dieses Zeug gestreamt. Gut, es geht natürlich auch langsam voran. Es ist eine Visual Novel, aber sehr interessante Geschichte. Und dann kann ich mir bald überlegen, was ich denn als nächstes Stream-Projekt mir eigentlich aussuche. Naja. Genug davon. Wir sind gerade in einer gar nicht so undramatischen Situation. Wir haben uns mit Chorizo ausgetauscht und auch sie ist der Meinung, wir sollten auf die Beta-Weltlinie zurückwechseln und Mayuri retten. Auch wenn das sie das Leben kostet, weil sie meint, wer weiß, vielleicht ist es ja gar nicht so, dass sie dann wirklich stirbt, sondern vielleicht gibt es halt wirklich mehrere Zeitlinien, auch wenn das von den Leuten teilweise angezweifelt wird. Naja, genug davon, ich würde sagen, wir fangen mal das Gespräch an, denn Mayuri hat angerufen. Hallo? Mayuri? Yeah. Displayed on the screen is Mayuri's face, devoid of its usual brightness for some reason. What's wrong? I heard from Daru-kun that Okarin's been acting kinda strange. She was so preoccupied with Komima, she didn't really notice. Ach ja, sie ist eine gute Seele, die Kleine. Even though she usually notices right away when Okarin's not happy. I'm sorry, Okarin. Don't apologize. You've done nothing wrong. Did something happen? Okarin? I can't tell her. I can't. I've kept it a secret from her all this time. That's the way it has to be. There's nothing wrong. Oh. You know, you used to talk to Maeshi about a lot of things, remember? Like, the organization's 4 leaders. Their names are Bag Turkish, Virginian Burp, Balloon Drag Queen, and Wide-Eyed Gore, right? Oh, oh nein! Black Tortoise, Tortoise, Vermilion Bird, Blue Dragon and White Tiger. Oh Gott, nein! Und diese Sachen sind, glaube ich, Anspielungen auf diese, ja, war das im Taoismus mit den 5 verschiedenen, nee, es wären 5, nicht 4 Tiere gewesen. Egal. Zumindest kommen diese 4 alle bei diesen 5 taoistischen Elementen vor. Ich überlege gerade, Schildkröte, war das Wasser oder Erde? Ich bin mir nicht mehr... Auf jeden Fall, der Vogel könnte ein Phönix sein, dann hat man das bei Feuer... Ach, egal. Yes, that. You know, it was really fun talking to Okarin about stuff like that. But now... Okarin, if Mayoshi's a burden, just say so, okay? What? I never... I'm hanging up now. If you feel like talking to Maishi about anything, just call, okay? She hung up on me. What did Mayuri say? How are you? How are you a burden? Don't say things like that, damn it. Why is she only serious at times like this? A burden, huh? I've never felt Mayuri was a burden. Not once. Then you should tell her that. Maybe it wasn't a good idea to leave Mayuri in the dark. She never looks like she's thinking anything, and yet she saw my doubt. Either way, I can't tell her the truth. Kurisu sighs, then glares at me. The old you wouldn't have worried about anything. Anyway, you should go see Mayuri. I'm sure she has a lot to say. She's right. Even if I don't tell Mayuri the truth, I need to at least tell her something. I'll postpone my decision and go see Mayuri. It's afternoon on the first day of Komima, and the crowds are finally beginning to thin out. Of course, the industry booths and cosplay area are still packed, but at least I don't have to wait in line to get in. I've been trying to get in touch with Mayuri for a while now, but she hasn't responded. I checked with Daru, but he hasn't seen her today either. Cosplay ends at 4 PM. I focus on searching the cosplay area until then, but I still can't find her. Maybe she finished early and went home. I tried calling her home. No luck. They haven't seen her since she left this morning. Where is she? I'm always afraid that she'll disappear the second I take my eyes off her. It's been like that ever since she lost her grandmother. Maybe it's just my imagination. We've been so close for so long. I saw Mayuri at her weakest and most vulnerable. Maybe that has made me overprotective. But I don't care how other people see us. I just can't leave Mayuri alone. I step into the cemetery, the final resting place of Mayuri's beloved grandmother. When was the last time I came here? For about a year after Mayuri became my hostage, I periodically accompany her here. But I don't think I've been here since I entered high school, so it's been about 3 or 4 years. As I get closer to Mayuri's grandmother's grave, I begin to hear her voice. It's Mayuri. I'd recognize her voice anywhere. It sounds like she's talking to someone. I approach quietly. Hey, Granny. Mayuri is standing there, talking to the grave. What a relief. She hasn't disappeared. I decide to watch silently from a short distance away. I've been having scary dreams lately. For a second I wonder if she's learned to commune with the dead, but no, she's just talking to herself. In my dreams, bad things keep happening to me. Like someone shoots me, or a car hits me, or I get run over by a train. What? Don't tell me. It's so real. It hurts so much and I feel so sad, and I try to call for help, but nothing comes out. Why do you think I'm having those dreams? Does she remember her deaths? All of them? If she is she inheriting memories like I do? And you know, they always end the same way. Maishi's crying and Okarin comes to save me. Maishi tries to say thank you, Okarin, but Okarin can't hear my voice. He holds Maishi and makes a very sad face like he's going to cry, but he never does, you know. I can tell he's forcing himself not to cry. Come to think of it. Both Ferris and Lukaku remembered the memories from before the past changed. I used to think that memories couldn't be shared between world lines. I used to think that I was the exception with reading Steiner. But maybe that's not the case. Maybe everyone has the same power and the only difference is how strong it is. Maybe reading Steiner is nothing special after all. That makes Maishi even more sad. I try to say sorry, sorry, but he still can't hear. And that's when I wake up. Why am I having these dreams? I've failed so many times to save her. I've watched her die again and again. Everything I've done has been to prevent that from happening. And yet, have the memories of those deaths been tormenting her as she sleeps? I bite my lip in frustration. I still have a terrible decision to make. Do I save Mari, or do I save Kurisu? There's no perfect ending here. I can't save them both. It's one or the other. If I choose Kurisu, then Mari's dreams will become reality. I don't want Mari to feel any pain. Until now, I've thought only of saving her. That is my goal. But at the same time, I can't let Kurisu die. Again, my thoughts hit the same dead end. Mari hasn't noticed me yet. She's still staring at the sky, just as she was on the day I took her hostage. She's talking to her grandmother in heaven. All right, we have a lot more lab mams now, you know. There's Chris-chan, Moika-san, Luka-kun, and Ferris-chan. And there's also Suzu-san, but she moved away. That makes 8 of us. It's really amazing. On this word line, they all became lab ma'ams. However, not a single one of them has sent an email. You know, it was just Ocarine and Mayushi at first. Back then, Ocarine seemed kinda bored most of the time. But now he's having so much fun. Is that how she sees it? Well, she's not wrong. She really does know me, doesn't she? And that makes Mayushi happy too. It's so busy, but it's really exciting. Especially now that Christian is here. She's really smart, you know. She's got a paper published in a famous magazine. Mayushi really admires her. She even made a time machine. Oh, but can't forget Ocarine and Daru-kun helped too. Then Mari falls silent. Her gaze becomes distant. She stands still and looks up to the sky. What could she be thinking? But you know, sometimes I remember. Back when it was just the two of us. When Mayushi had only just become Okarine's hostage. I'd go to the lab after school, but Ocarine wouldn't be there. So I'd tidy up the room and decorate it with cute things. Then Ocarine would finally show up a little later. Mayushi would say, "Welcome back," but instead of saying, "I'm back," Ocarine would say, "Good work," like a big boss or something. Every day we'd spend a few hours just hanging out, doing nothing, and then we'd go home together. We didn't talk much, but it wasn't bad. We were just there, together, you know? We'd sit next to each other on the sofa. Ocarine would work on his big plans, and Mayushi would read manga or play games. And sometimes we'd have a snack together. It was so nice and relaxing. I never wanted to leave. I'd start feeling like a real hostage and I'd laugh to myself. Then Ocarine would turn to me and say, "I remember. It was 4 months ago. Still spring. The lab wasn't as lively as it is now. It was an isolated bubble of slow-moving time. Did something good happen? Yep, well, not really, but kinda. Ah, it must have been an illusion. We could be under attack from Illusion Conductor, one of the organization's feared agents. Oh. Oh. Oh, gotta be careful then. But you know, I'm sure that Mr. Illusion Kid Hugger... Conductor, not Kid Hugger. I'm sure he's not a bad guy. It was nothing, just meaningless chatter to pass the time. I felt so happy there. So happy I could cry. I wanted to stay like that forever. Ah, but that doesn't mean I don't like how things are now, okay? Mayuri shakes her head in denial. Finally she stops looking up at the sky and bows her head instead. You know, I haven't talked to Ocarine much lately. Maybe Mayoshi's getting a little lonely. It's true. I haven't had time to talk to her lately. But that's because I've been fighting to prevent her death. To keep her dreams from coming true. Also that Mayuri will keep smiling. I never again want to see her cry like she did on the day her grandmother died. But you know, I don't want to be a burden on Ocarine. That word again. Burden. I've never thought of her as a burden. Mayoshi's just one big nuisance, isn't she? Granny? Mayuri lifts her face once more. I can't stay like this forever, can I? Of course you can. When I finally speak to Mayuri, she turns my way with a surprised expression. Her face is so soft, so innocent. Slowly her lips curve into a smile. It's Ocarine! Wow, how'd you know I was here? I always know where my hostage is. Hostage? You cannot escape my grasp. Not ever. Oh. But don't wear yourself out, okay? Mayoshi's a little worried. Ho in Kyoma is not so weak as to require your concern. When the time comes, I'll tell you everything. So stay with me until then, like you always have. Okay. Mare stands up and turns to the grave once more. As an offering, she leaves a brand new white lily, as well as some dango dumplings. Let's head back, Okarin. Shouldn't we get some dango for ourselves first? Back when we used to visit the cemetery together, it was part of our daily routine to eat dango on the way back. Of course. Die beiden sind schon irgendwie süß zusammen. Akiba is empty again today. The otaku have all made the exodus to Komima for the second day of battle. But come nightfall, they will return to Akiba like a victorious army laden with spoils, and the streets will be chaos. I know Daro has gone to Komima. The question is, has Mayuri? I hope she has. I want things to be normal again. I remember what I heard yesterday. The feelings Mayuri expressed at her grandmother's grave. The events of the last few weeks have affected her as well. After I escorted Mayuri home from the cemetery, I spent the whole night racking my brain for a third option, a way out of this mess. My thoughts were a jumble, ideas coming and going too fast to judge which were right and which were wrong. But of course, there isn't a right choice here. For in the end, it always comes back to the same question. Who do I let die? And no matter how I try to dance around it, the answer is always the same. I can't choose. Is there no one else who can make this decision? No. Even if there were, I'd know I'd never accept that choice, whichever it happened to be. Once again, I'm heading for the roof of Radikan. I had to get out of the lab. Mayuri or Kurisu might return at any moment, and I can't face them right now. Ich trinke mal kurz einen Schluck. Man labert sich hier auch den Mund fusselig. I look up at the sky. The clouds are dark and heavy. It could start raining any minute now. I thought that I was alone, but someone was here before me. Kurisu is lying in the middle of the roof, arms and legs spread as if making a snow angel. The image of Kurisu in a pool of blood flashes through my mind. Is she alright? I run towards her, but before I make it halfway, she suddenly sits up and turns to face me. Okabe? You're alive. What a dumb thing to say. Fortunately, it looks like Kurisu didn't hear me. She's busy combing her disheveled hair with her fingers. I breathe a silent sigh of relief. So. Right. I forgot I might run into you here. What were you doing? Thinking. Oh. Was she thinking about her death? I don't know what to say, so I keep my mouth shut. Kurisu appears to be in the same boat. She's staring at the capsule toy dispenser in the corner, her face wearing the usual frown. The awkward silence drags on. When you think about it, Kurisu's fate rests in my hands. My decision will determine whether she lives or dies. A fantastic hypothesis yesterday was a desperate attempt to construct a scenario where she doesn't die. Even if she believes that her theory is correct, it must be difficult for her to avoid imagining her own death. I force a smile. I'm getting really uncomfortable here. Looks like I'm in your way, so I'll just go. Oh, okay. Damn, I was expecting a sarcastic remark like, since when do mad scientists have manners? Or something. Just then something cold lands on the tip of my nose. Ach, wenn ich mich recht erinnere, ist übrigens diese Szene eine, die man nur bekommt, wenn man mindestens eine True Ending Flag hat. Oder kann sogar sein, dass man alle... Nee, man braucht nicht alle dafür. Man braucht aber mindestens eine. Also man muss quasi die Variante haben, dass das Kapitel 10 Paradox Meltdown heißt und nicht Stardust Sky. When I look up, raindrops start landing on my forehead. An evening shower. It's only going to get more intense and quickly. Kurisu hasn't moved a muscle. She's just standing there with her arms folded, staring at the ground as if she doesn't notice the rain at all. Hey, it's raining. Huh? Oh, yeah. She's acting strange, like her mind is elsewhere. I knew it. She's been thinking about... Whoa! In less than a minute, the rain turns into a full downpour. We had no time to seek shelter. What the hell? Kurisu's scream is drowned out by the roar of the rain. Whew, what a surprise. That's what you get for tempting the sky gods. Now safely inside the building, we take a moment to catch our breath. It's been a week since Suza's time machine disappeared, but Radikan is still closed. The lights are off, and it's pretty dark inside. You should have warned me sooner. Even my underwear's soaked. Same here. I bet you're glad it's dark, huh? What do you mean? If the lights were on, I'd be able to see everything. Even in the dim light, I can tell that Kurisu is scrambling to cover her chest. I forgot that you're a perv too. Ich würde mal sagen, das hat nichts mit Perversion zu tun. Das wäre ziemlich normal, wenn jemand quasi, also wenn die Kleidung von einer Person durchsichtig wird. Aber weiter im Text. You're the one who announced that your underwear was wet. Das klingt jetzt ganz falsch. Just drop it. If you're imagining what color my underwear is, I'll kill you. I'm not imagining anything. She's too self-conscious. But the color of her underwear, huh? Gotta be white. Cold. I'm not stripping naked, if that's what you're suggesting. Your pervy tricks won't work on me. Who said strip? Calm down, will you? But if you want to strip, go right ahead. I can't make out your scrawny figure in this light anyway. Another word and I'll make you eat your cerebral neocortex with ponzu sauce. Sorry. Please spare me that horror. Still, these wisecracks are a welcome distraction. A storm like that shouldn't last long. Guess we'll just wait it out. I see Kuri's shadowy form move to sit on the staircase. I sit next to her. Hey, get your own stair. What? You're the one who said not to speak. You're too close. Don't come any closer, okay? You can stay where you are, but come any closer and I'll push you away, okay? Our bodies gradually grow cold. We start shivering. Maybe I should take off my wet clothes. But if I do that, Kurisu will just call me a perv again. Better not. My eyes gradually adjust to the darkness. I can see Kurisu more clearly now. She settled up against the wall. Don't look at me. Impossible! How can you see where I'm looking? Does she have infravision? Infravision, so. So you were looking. Damn, she used leading question on me. That's such a high-level technique. I avert my eyes from Kurisu and take off my lab coat. That's when I notice my coat is torn on the shoulder. Damn, must have caught on something when we ran inside. What are you talking about? Just a little tear in my coat. Is clumsiness one of your character traits? Don't be ridiculous. I am a mad scientist. I bear the curse of insanity, not clumsiness. It seems like forever since I've talked to Kurisu as Ho in Kyoma. Yeah. Kurisu suddenly holds out her hand. Give it here. What? I happen to have a sewing kit with me. I'll stitch it up for you. A sewing kit? You. Something wrong with that? I hand over my coat as asked. You're an experiment-loving girl. You're not supposed to be domestic. Can't I be a domestic experiment-loving girl? You? Domestic? Relatively, maybe. Well, actually, I don't know the domesticity index for Japanese high school girls these days. There's an index for that? First I've heard of it. Kurisu skillfully threads the needle despite the darkness. It's wet, so it's kinda hard to thread. Did you really just happen to have that on you? Get over it already. Is it really so wrong for me to have a sewing kit? It's not wrong, it just seems like you planned for this.
つまり、あんたが服を破ってしまうのを見越してあらかじめ用意していたって言ってもらいたいんですね。わかります。
So you're saying I brought it with me because I somehow knew your coat was going to get ripped? Uh-huh.
そんなわけあるか。
Ridiculous.
それと、勘違いしないでほしいんだけど、別に好きで縫ってあげてるわけじゃないんだからね。
And before you get the wrong idea, I'm not fixing your coat because I want to, not because I want to or anything, okay?
出たな、ツンデレセリフ。
Nice tsundere line.
茶化すな。あんたが偶然服を破って、私は偶然ソーイングセットを持っていた。だから縫ってあげている。それだけ。
Don't mock me. You just happened to tear your clothes, and I just happened to have a sewing kit handy when you did. It's coincidence, that's all.
偶然ね。
Coincidence.
まさかお前タイムリープしているということはないよな。
Hey, you didn't time leap, did you?
つまり、あんたが服を破ってしまったからタイムリープして事前にソーイングセットを用意したって言ってもらいたいんですね。わかります。
So now you're saying that I went back in time for the sole purpose of repairing your stupid lab coat. Uh-huh.
そんなわけあるか、そんなわけあるか。大事なことなので2回言いました。Understand?
Ridiculous, ridiculous. There, it's so important I said it twice. Comprendes?
確かに。わざわざタイムリープして対策を練るならば、ソーイングセットではなくタオルを用意しておくのが先だからな。
You're right. If you had time leaped, you would have brought a towel, not a sewing kit.
何それ？皮肉？なんかばっかり。
What's that? Sarcasm? All you do is complain. After working for a while, Kurisu cuts the string with her teeth, then hands me back my coat.
ほら、
Here.
ありがとう。
Thanks.
出来については暗くて確認できないけど、
By the way, it was dark, so I couldn't really see.
もし仮に出来が悪くても私の腕のせいじゃない。暗さのせいよ、きっと。
If it turns out bad, it's not my fault. It was dark, that's all.
ちなみに糸の色についても何が出るかお楽しみに。
Oh, and I hope you like the color, because I have no idea which thread I used.
色もランダムなのか。
It's random.
黒か赤かピンク。確率は3分の1。
Black, red, or pink. Those are the three possibilities.
せめてピンクが出ないように祈ろう。
Let's just hope it's not pink.
寒いか。
Cold,
まあね。
I guess.
俺の上着を羽織るか。
Take my coat.
それだって濡れてるでしょ。
But it's wet?
まあ、そうだが。
Well, yeah, but... Silence again. The words flow so naturally when it's just harmless banter, but 1 second of silence and suddenly we have nothing to say. It must be because of what happened yesterday. I'm so desperate to avoid the topic that nothing seems safe. I know I need to say something, but what?
結論は出た。
Have you made your decision yet? Her voice is barely a whisper, but I can hear her clearly in the silence of the empty stairwell. I look at Kurisu. She's hugging her knees to her chest, presumably against the cold. My decision. I know what she means. That's why I can't answer.
まだ悩んでるの？
You still haven't made up your mind?
あんたってマユリのこと好きなんでしょ？
You like Mayuri, don't you?
何？
What? Where did that come from? Kurisu keeps staring into the darkness.
ただの錯覚かもしれないけど、私 私の心の中に奇妙な記憶というかデジャブみたいなものがある。
It's probably just my imagination, but lately I've been seeing things, like a strange sort of déjà vu.
そこではあんたはマユリを助けようと必死になってて、一人で傷つきながらそれでも前に突き進もうとしてるの。
In these visions, you're fighting to save Maori all by yourself. You never give up, no matter how much it hurts. Kurisu too?
そんな岡部が私に相談をしてきて、そのひたむきに頑張ってる姿を見て、私も力になってあげたいと思ったり。
Then you come to me for help. You're so desperate, so earnest that I just have to do what I can.
別にあんたを助けたいって思ったわけじゃないからな。私はあくまでマユリを助けたいだけであって。
Not that I'm doing it for you, okay? I just want to save Maori, that's all.
とにかく私にはなぜかそんな錯覚が記憶のように残ってる。
Anyway, these images are stuck in my head like memories. So Kurisu's the same. She still has faint memories from previous world lines.
自己分析してみたけど、夢で見たものを現実と思い込んでるのか、単なる願望か、それぐらいの結論しか出なかった。
I tried self-analysis. Maybe I'm mistaking dreams for reality, projecting my hopes and fantasies. I don't know.
ただ、これだけははっきりしてる。
But there's one thing I do know.
あんたはマユリを助けるべきなのよ。
You have to save Maori.
怖くないのか。
Aren't you afraid? To save Maori, I must undo the current world line. If I do that, Kurisu will die.
なんだか廃墟に迷い込んだみたい。
You know, it kinda feels like we're trapped in an ancient ruin. Kurisu suddenly changes the subject. She looks around the dark, empty stairwell.
まるで世界中の電源が切られて、
Like the world ended.
私たちだけ取り残されたみたい。
And we're the only two people left.
ふと思うんだ。
I've been thinking,
もしあんたがベータ世界線に行ったとする。みんなも一斉にそっちに移動するとしたら、
say you go to the beta world line and everyone else goes with you.
私だけは移動できない。私だけが取り残される。
What if I can't go with you? What if I'm the only one left behind?
そうしたら世界中がこの場所みたいになっちゃうのかな。
Would the entire world become like this place?
所詮これも仮説の一つだけど。
It's just a theory, but I can't help but wonder.
俺は
I need to say it.
お前も救う。マユリだけじゃなくて、お前も。
I'll save you. Not just Maori, but
できもしないこと言わなくていい。
don't make promises you can't keep. Kurisu cuts me off sharply, then buries her face in her knees.
怖くないかってさっき聞いた。
You asked me if I wasn't afraid.
怖いに決まってるでしょ。
Of course I'm afraid.
自分が消えるかもしれない。自分だけが取り残されるかもしれない。
Maybe I'll disappear. Maybe I'll be left behind all alone.
あるいはあんただけがこの世界線からいなくなるかもしれない。
Or maybe only you will disappear and everything else will stay the same.
誰もあんたがいなくなったことを認識してない世界がずっと続いていて、私は何事もなかったかのようにアメリカに帰るかもしれない。
The world will continue and nobody will even know that you existed. I'll go back to America as if nothing ever happened.
かもしれない。かもしれない。かもしれない。
Maybe, maybe, maybe.
そんないろんな可能性を考えて、その度に絶望的な気分になる。
I feel hopeless just thinking about all the possibilities.
でも、
But even so. Kurisu raises her head and spears me with her glare.
だからマユリを見殺しにしろなんて言えると思う？
Do you think I would tell you to let Mari die?
クリス。
もう、なんか寒いな。
Jesus, it's cold. Kurisu grabs her own arms. In the darkness, I see her shoulders shaking.
濡れてる服着てるせいね。たく。
It's because of these wet clothes. This sucks.
こんなの全然論理的じゃない。仮説にすらなってない。全部根拠のない妄想。こんなしょうもない妄想を垂れ流す脳の機能をカットしてやりたい。
Anyway, enough of this nonsense. It's nothing but conjecture. Baseless, worthless. I want to cut open my skull and excise the part of my brain that comes up with these delusions. Now she's talking to herself in an angry tone. Kurisu has always been calm when faced with the unknown. I admired her for that. I thought she was facing this calmly too, but I was wrong. Behind her cool facade, she was struggling to cope with the knowledge that her very existence was in jeopardy. She was fighting that fear all alone, and now it has finally come to the surface. Of course she's afraid. However brilliant she may be, she's still just an 18-year-old girl. Kurisu abruptly stands up. I realize that I no longer hear the sound of rain pounding on the roof.
聞いて、岡部。
Listen, Okabe.
両方救うのは無理。そうでしょ。
You can't save both of us, correct?
どうあがいたって、確率は2分の1なの。
No matter how you struggle, it's one or the other.
だが。
But
だがじゃない。私の結論は変わらない。
no buts. My answer won't change.
マユリを助けて。
Save Mayuri. I hear the pain in her voice, and also the resolve. Kurisu has made up her mind. I look away and clench my fists. My nails dig into the palms of my hands.
そう簡単に諦めろっていうのか。お前を見捨てろっていうのか。
Are you telling me to give up? To abandon you?
そんなのできるはずがないだろう。
I could never do that.
できるかできないかじゃない。あんたをやらなくちゃいけない。それしか道はない。
You can and you must. There's no other way.
ダメだ。お前は俺たちの大切な仲間だ。俺はお前も見捨てない。
No, you're a friend. I won't abandon you.
岡部。
Kurisu drops to her knees and grabs me by the collar. I grasp for breath as she stares into my eyes. Her eyes are hard and stern. It's always like this when she scolds me. Always the same glare.
他に解決策があるの？ないんでしょ。
Is there another solution? There isn't, is there?
私はマユリを犠牲にしてまで生きていたくない。
I don't want to live if it means sacrificing Mayuri.
もしマユリを助けなかったら、あんたを一生恨むから。
If you don't save her, I'll never forgive you. This can't be happening. I hate this choice with no right answer. I hate the universe for being so cruel. And most of all, I hate myself for forcing Kurisu to speak these words when she is the one who had the most to lose. Tears well up in my eyes, but I bite my lip and hold them back. Is there really no other way? I can't bear it. I look straight back at Kurisu as she holds me by the collar. and tightly embrace her slender body. Her clothes are still wet from the rain, but all I feel is warmth radiating from the core of her being. But you're right here. Why does it have to be this way? Tension drains from her back and her hands. She gives her whole body to my embrace. Thank you. I know you're hurting for me. But you've done enough. I'm fine. So just think about Mayuri, okay? Despite her fear, Kurisu has made her choice. It's time for me to do the same. I need to decide, here and now. The future of the world. Which friend to let die. Holding Kurisu tightly, I whisper into her ear. I won't give up. Ever. Kurisu suddenly pushes me away. She steps back, her face is hidden behind her hair. But her fists are trembling. Her body exudes raw fury. Ja, das sagt sie gerade wirklich. This is ridiculous, you motherfucker. Whoa. I said I was fine. What do you mean you won't give up? Are you stupid? Wanna die? Are you trying to be a hero, you chunibyo whack job? Don't make promises you can't keep. Your stupidity is infuriating. Why can't you just do as I say? What's the problem, huh? If you weigh the options logically, saving Mayuri is the only... Fuck logic! Kurisu stares at me in shock. I'm not God. Maybe I got close, but that's not me. I can't decide who lives and who dies anymore. Suzuha, Ferris, Rukako. I sacrificed their happiness to save Mayuri. And the whole time a voice in the back of my head was asking, is this really okay? What gives me the right? This time I want to save both of them, without sacrificing anyone. Kurisu turns away with a frown, then starts tapping her foot in a clear gesture of displeasure. There's nothing you can do. It's the choice of Steins Gate. Isn't that what you always say? The equation is proven, Okabe. There's no escape. You're just one man. No matter how hard you try, you can't overcome the will of the universe. I know, but I'm still going to try. I won't lose Mayuri or Kurisu. I hear Kurisu grinding her teeth. Then she turns her back to me. Have it your way, but I'm not helping. I'm going back to America, and that's that. Goodbye. I don't expect we'll meet again, Hoin Kyoma. I can't believe this. How stupid can you be? You're so stupid. Kurisu disappears down the stairs, muttering insults until I can no longer hear her. Now alone, I sigh into the darkness. Kurisu is absolutely right. I can't think of a single way to save them both. I'm a fool. And yet, I have to try. But this time, I won't have Kurisu's help. I have to fight the universe alone. How do I save both Kurisu and Mayuri? I can't use D-mail. Too much could go wrong. I don't want to make the same mistakes again. In the end, all I can do is time leap. Time leaping can't save Mayuri, but at least it can delay her death, give me time to find a solution. On this world line, Mayuri dies at 7:30 on the night of August 17th. That's about 26 hours from now. My battle has no end in sight. If only Suzuha were here, I could have asked her for advice. But even alone, I must find a way. So resolved, I start time leaping again to save Mayuri. I've done this before. When Mayuri died the first time at Moeka's hands, I tried time leaping to prevent her death. But I only tried running away that time. This time, I try every approach I can think of. I try hiring bodyguards to protect Mayuri. I try taking Mayuri to South America, an entire world away from Japan. I try crippling CERN with attacks on their servers, the one that don't need the IBM 5100. I try getting Mayuri admitted to a hospital. It's hard given Mayuri's perfect health, but I manage. My goal is to keep her from dying by heart attack. I try everything I can possibly imagine. However, every plan fails. Mayuri dies again and again and again. Sometimes it's murder, sometimes an accident. But every time I leap, Mayuri dies. Maybe it really is impossible to resist fate. As long as I remain on this world line, Mayuri can't be saved. Fate will kill her every time. From Mayuri's perspective, she only dies once. But I've seen her die dozens of times, all because of me. And yet, it no longer affects me as it used to. Little by little, I've grown desensitized to her death. In the beginning, I felt unbearable pain every time I saw her die, and murderous rage towards the ones responsible. And now I feel nothing. The realization stuns me. After dozens of leaps, I finally realize what should have been obvious from the beginning. I never leap back more than 26 hours. Why? I could go back as far as August 11th, one whole week in the past. Yet I never do. Why? Because I know that even if I do, nothing will change. I don't believe that anything will change. Every time Mayuri dies, I find myself thinking, another failure. What went wrong this time? I calmly analyze Mayuri's death, then take my data and head for the time leap machine with a sigh, like a gamer forced to the forced for the umpteenth time to restart a particularly difficult stage. I'm just going through the motions. I didn't even realize until this moment how routine it had all become. Now that I have, my actions suddenly seem meaningless. I can't take another step. And that's how I find myself here, sitting motionless in front of the time leap machine I've been staring at for hours. Und ich würde sagen, dann machen wir hier mal einen Schnitt. Ja, ich finde persönlich, das ist gerade eine gute Stelle. Ist natürlich ein etwas deprimierender Punkt, aber dann wird wohl nächste Folge die Wahl getroffen. Und wir kommen zum ersten Schritt des Endes, könnte man sagen. Also wie gesagt, ich glaube, dass diese Szene, die wir mit Kurisu hatten, nur kommt, wenn man tatsächlich auch mindestens eine True Ending Flag hat. Kann aber auch sein, dass ich mich da irre. Ich meine, es wäre so. Kann auch sein, dass es die nächste Szene ist. Ich weiß es nicht mehr genau. Auf jeden Fall 1 oder 2 Szenen gibt es, die man nur auf die Art bekommt. Und da wir alle True Ending Flags haben, heißt das, wir kommen dann auch zum kanonischen Ende. Das ist übrigens das Ende, was man auch im Anime sieht. Aber genug davon. Ich hoffe, ihr hattet Spaß. Das ist konstruktive Kritik, da vielleicht ein Däumchen nach oben. Und wir sehen uns bei der nächsten Folge von Let's Play Steins wieder. Es geht so langsam wirklich aufs Ende zu. Bis dahin, Cheerio!